Well, I guess now it's time that I talk about the other system I picked up somewhat recently this summer, even though I got it back in June and it's now fucking late August and it's taken me fucking forever to talk about it. The PlayStation 4. Now, I don't have my PlayStation 4 system up here to show you because I admittedly didn't really feel like unhooking it, but I have the controller to show you, and I have the display box thing here because I got my PS4 at Costco, and Costco had like a deal, had like this sort of, deal package thing where, hey, you get this PS4 Slim with a copy of Uncharted 4, and you get an extra controller with it, and it's quite a steal, so, yeah. And what can I say about the PS4? Well, it's great that I finally got one. I've had interest in it for a while, even, I guess, ever since, the system first came out, and, well, considering, of course, that it came out in 2013, I, of course, remember that, and remember all the hype and talk about it, how it sold, like, 1 million units, on the first day of its release. So, like, yeah. And, of course, I was gonna get one, it's just that it took a while to convince, considering, it's not just getting another system, but it's also getting a new modern system, which, of course, it's not easy to do. But, nevertheless, I was able to finally get one, and, well, I certainly can't wait to get a whole lot more for it, maybe get some, like, RPGs and some hidden gems and all that kind of shit, because the PS4 is definitely a pretty cool system, like, as is, PS1, 2, and 3. Now, of course, I want to really give a lot more attention to those, because I have a lot more games for those systems in mind, but the PS4 is definitely, like, something to give, attention to for sure, and so are quite a bit of people, because, of course, the PS4, very successful so far, And, hey, friends and stuff talking about it, how they had it, they wanted to get it, and, I did see it a few times at some friends' places, and I did play it every now and then. And, of course, I remember just loving the controller, because, let me tell you, the PlayStation 4 controller is just top-notch. This I find so much better than, like, basically the other Sony controller. I could just say PS3 controller, but, PS3, PS2, and kind of PS1, they're more or less the same. Just the grips, the D-pad, the little, like, grip indent things on the joystick, just everything about this controller just feels like, like, great. I mean, Sony really did a fantastic job with this controller. It's got a touchpad, all that sort of stuff. But we're not here to talk about the PS4 controller. Here's the second controller that came with the bundle, which I opened once, but, I haven't used, because, again, I haven't done two-player with PS4 yet. So one reason that I think that this video took me so long to make is that I was thinking, oh, maybe I probably will get some more PS4 games along the way, and I kinda did, but, not too much. But, let's, of course, talk about the games. How about the game that came with the system and the best-selling game on the PS4, Uncharted 4: A Thief's End. Now, Uncharted, is a series I got into pretty recently. I beat the first two games. I haven't beaten the third game yet. I really don't know why. I'll get to that, probably by the end of this year. And of course, everyone was excited about hearing about this, because, this came out recently, like last May, I believe. And, hey, bundle it with a bunch of PS4s, because Uncharted 4 is a really good game. It's a great game, in fact. I'd say, yeah, this is probably my favorite in the Uncharted series. Just the journey overall, and just, like, the little gameplay and stuff. It's all top-notch, And, hey, Troy Baker does a great job as Sam and stuff. Sully's looking a little older, and all that. I find it kind of, whatever, come on, like, with the way Elena's used in this game, at least so far, like, how Nate is like, oh, yeah, I'm going on an excavation job in Malaysia, and it's like, why would you fucking lie to Elena? I mean, with all that you guys have been through, I think she understands that, hey, you got probably some shit to do, even though you're done with this whole treasure hunting thing, but, there's Sam here, and you gotta get this treasure to repay the fucker that broke Sam out of jail, all that sort of stuff. It's great. you know. But of course, one thing that kind of disappointed about me, and I knew this for a while, like pretty much ever since the game first came out, really, was the fact that Chloe and Charlie are not in this game. Now, if you've played Uncharted, you know who they are. Chloe was, you know, quite prominent in the second game and a little bit in the third. And, you know, Charlie was just there for the third game. He was only there for like 5 or 6 chapters. You know, he last appeared in chapter 9, and, you know, nobody ever heard from him since. So it's kind of a letdown that, you know, he's not in this game. I mean, he's, I think, in the multiplayer, and he's mentioned, but he doesn't have any role in the story. He's not seen anywhere, and same case with Chloe. And yeah, I know there's Uncharted: The Lost Legacy, which has Chloe, but yeah, as great as Uncharted 4 is, I think this is a game that I'll probably have to put on hold. Like, I'll put it, you know, just aside for now, because I think I'll, you know, because I'm just playing so many fucking games that, like, you know, I'm not going to be able to beat this soonish, so I'll just kind of put it on the back burner for now, the backlog and whatnot, and I'll definitely get back to this soon, because, hey, it's a great game, you know, it really is. Definitely a must-have for the PS4, but probably already own it, I don't know. Yeah, that's Uncharted 4. Another game I got for it, I had to get this off eBay because I couldn't fucking find it in stores, which was a shame. I got Abzu. You may have heard of this, you know, I mean, it's PS4. You most likely have heard of all the 3 games I talk about. I don't know. When I first heard about this game, I was watching a Twitch stream from Pete Dorr, where, you know, he played through Abzu, and it must have been, like, right, like, the day Abzu came out. And I was really impressed with it, you know, and of course, as we know, Abzu is similar to, say, like, Journey. And, you know, at the time, I'd heard of Journey, and I'd seen it, but it didn't blow me away. And even when I did finally get a chance to play it, I think Journey's okay, but in all honesty, Abzu's just a much better game, I feel. Just the environment and the journey journey overall, I just feel is a lot more entertaining and visually stunning and well engaging, because, you know, hey, that's what games like this are supposed to be, you know, sort of visual eye candy. You know, you basically just swim, and you swim, exit one area, there's a shark following you around, there's like this evil triangle gang, not Illuminati, but just evil pyramids and shit prominent in this game and whatnot. I'm kind of surprised, but also pleasantly surprised, of course, that Abzu got a physical release, because when I first saw it, you know, on that Twitch stream, it sure as fuck did not have physical release. I was like, god damn it. And, you know, of course, being what the kind of game is, I didn't think it would get a physical release, but, well, here we are. In fact, I think it got a physical release this March, even though it came out, like, August of last year. Abzu's a pretty neat game, though, you know, probably the only kind of game you would get, you know, for a sort of a niche kind of market. But see, you know, you can release games like this and not make them fucking limited run games, you know? Even niche little indie games that would only apply to, like, that sort of, you know, minor market, you can make not fucking limited run, because all these limited run games on the PS4 just concern me, because, you know, hey, now games are purposely being rare. I mean, fucking, isn't, like, one of the Shantae games, you know, a limited run game on the PS4? That's even more limited than the fucking original game on the Game Boy Color. But whatever, let's not get off topic. But yeah, Abzu is a pretty interesting game. I actually played through it 3 times, because, you know, I kind of like it. Very interesting for sure. The last PS4 game I got here is Trials Fusion. Well, actually, I should also note that these 2 games are both on the Xbox One, but I don't ever really see myself getting an Xbox One anytime soon, even when I have that kind of money to spend on, you know, my hobby and whatnot. And even with whatever few games I would like on the Xbox One, it's really not worth the investment. But yeah. Anyways, Trials Fusion. This game came out back in, like, April of 2014, and I actually remember when it first came out. I very specifically remember, you know, like, people talking about it. I liked the cover and whatnot. Didn't really look into the game until recently, and it's essentially, you know, like a mix between a racing game and a platformer, you know? You got, like, you know, yeah, it's a racing game and a platform. I don't know how else to describe it. This game is great. I've had such a blast with it. It's so fun, you know, trying to get, like, the best time on a lot of these levels, and just the environments of the levels are great, and, you know, it's just kind of amusing how, like, pretty much almost every time a course ends, the driver gets like horrifically injured and stuff. It's really cool, actually. It's a really fun game, and I would absolutely recommend this, because it's cheap. You can get it for like $20. It's really an entertaining game, and something I've synced a good amount of time to. I'll try and get this beaten at some point. It's apparently part of a series, but I didn't really know about the series prior till when the game came out way back when. Because hell, even though I didn't own a PS4 until now, was following the releases and whatnot because, hey, people talked about them, and, that's how I found out about stuff like this. And here we are, like, 4 years later after the console's release, and now I'm reminded of, well, actually, more specifically, I guess 3 years later after this game's release, and now I'm reminded of it, and now it's in the collection. Really fun, it's also got some interesting music, all that stuff. So that's my PS4 so far. I hope to, of course, get more games for it, probably, more RPGs and stuff, look into some more, maybe some imports, but I imagine any and all, like, Japan-only PS4 games are probably really expensive. How long is this? Hey, we made good time, wow, 11 minutes. Holy shit.